This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Prichard. Bruce, what's going on, man? How are you?
You know, dog, just another day in the neighborhood and another bone.
We're excited to be with you. Of course, we know last week you had some family stuff. We're back in the saddle, and we're bringing you what we were supposed to bring you last week, In Your House 4. And originally scheduled today was Taboo Tuesday 2005. We'll try to get to that one very, very soon. But I thought that today we should go back in time and revisit 1995. In Your House 4, The Great White North. It was a pay-per-view on October 22nd back in 95 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Hey.
That's the Winnipeg Arena, you idiot. 10,339 fans were in attendance. About 9,000 were reported as being paid fans. The gate is $127,976. That's the best gate for an In Your House show to date. Is this more based on the idea that it's still a rather early incarnation of In Your House, or more because the fans in Canada are hot, Bruce?
Well, shit. I think that the fans of Canada have always been pretty fucking hot. And this was just during a time we hadn't been in Canada for a pay-per-view and for television in particular, just due to the high cost of doing business, going across the border, back and forth with visas and all that shit. But, you know, Canada was a little different set of, what the fuck am I trying to say? I was going to say set of pace, but just a little different pace at that time.
Okay.
I'm tongue-tied already.
I like it. You're not hot at me about that, are you?
Yeah, I'm hot at you.
What did I do now?
You showed up.
Oh yeah. So here's the deal. This is, I think the first pay-per-view event from Canada since like WrestleMania 6 in 1990. So more than 5 years since old Canada had a pay-per-view. They were probably starved for a little special WWF action. It's also the fourth In Your House event of the year. The Observer would report that there was a huge local media push leading up to the event. That has to help. 95, we're not exactly setting the houses on fire, but a huge local media push. Is that probably because you guys had a good local promoter?
Well, you know, it was more along the lines of Carl DeMarco, and Carl DeMarco approached, which don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not knocking it, but Carl approached every event as if it were WrestleMania. So no matter what the event, whether it was a live event, a pay-per-view, a television taping, Carl wanted to have press conferences. Carl wanted to have talent in and out of the market on the way there, as much press as he could possibly generate from everything. And again, it became kind of a pain in the ass because you were doing this for markets that wouldn't bring the return that, say, a New York or a Dallas or a LA or a Chicago would do. But yet we were pouring all of this into Canada to build Canada up a little bit more. And it was asking an awful lot of the talent. It was asking an awful lot of everyone. But again, to the promoter's point of view, I think every event should be a WrestleMania promotion, and you should put everything that you can into it. Just sometimes it's hard when you're promoting every other day of the week as well.
Let's talk about some rumor and innuendo. There was disputed information about how many buys this pay-per-view did. At the time, the WWF allegedly told the Observer it did around 0.8 or 200,000 buys, a number that would be almost as high as SummerSlam, which that year did 205,000 buys. Sources at Viewer's Choice and WCW both told Dave it was between 0.35 and 0.4. That's barely 100,000 buys. And that number is also in line with In Your House 5, which we're going to talk about in an upcoming episode. Meltzer would say, if the WWF figures are accurate, then In Your House was a success financially, and the In Your House series is comfortably holding its own. Using the other figures, as mentioned last week, the most recent show's performance was an outright disaster. I know you normally take great issue with any time I start a sentence by Dave Meltzer wrote, but you would eventually do away with this 2-hour reduced price pay-per-view concept, bump it back up, and add the other third hour at the full price. So clearly something wasn't working. Do you remember financially, was this a huge success or just sort of there?
Dude, I couldn't tell you one way or another, but I'm sure if Dave Meltzer reported it, that it is probably incorrect. Again, I don't have the goddamn numbers in front of me. I have no idea what the hell it did, but I can pretty much guarantee you, based on the track record of the Observer and of its editor in chief, I would probably say that it was much closer to incorrect than being anywhere close to the truth.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.